morning and welcome to Superscreen News at 10, reaching you live from Lagos. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari says the killings in some part of Nigeria would soon come to an end, as his administration is working hard to find solutions to the killings. The president's assurance followed fresh attacks on the herdsmen by Fulani herdsmen on Tuesday night, during which 10 persons were killed, while many others were injured in many local government and the local and Ukum local government areas of Benue State. According to a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the president spoke while receiving the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, in London. Responding to his guest's comments on the clashes between herdsmen and farmers in different parts of Nigeria, the president noted that the problem is not new, adding that the situation is compounded by influx of armed men from the Sahel region into West Africa. He also said the problem should not be seen from the point of view of religion, saying it is sociologically and economically motivated. The alleged closed-circuit television footage of a bank robbery has emerged. The 4-minute video, which went viral on the internet on Wednesday, revealed the moment of the armed robbers attacked one of the 5 banks. The gunmen had neutralized the security post with what appeared like grenades before entering the bank and operating unfettered. You will recall that on Thursday, April 5th, armed robbers invaded 5 banks in Kwara State, killing scores of residents, including policemen, bank workers, and passerbys. The assailants were said to have carted away millions of naira as they robbed the banks for about 1 hour without any challenge from security agents. State Commissioner of Police Adola Wan put the casualty figure at 17. However, the operations commander, Vigilance Group of Nigeria, Wasiu Adepoju, said the vigilantes in the state counted 50 dead bodies. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, during his visit to the Abuja House, London, says the church will be praying for President Muhammadu Buhari following his declaration for a second term. Welby said, "It is always a delight to see President Muhammadu Buhari, whom he said has had tremendous respect for." The Archbishop presented President Buhari with a copy of his recent book, Reimagining Britain, Foundations for Hope. Buhari and Welby were later joined by the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, George Oguntade, and the Secretary General of Anglican Communion, Archbishop Josiah Fieron. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointments of 7 resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, among other appointments into some agencies in the Ministries of Health, Information and Culture, Education, as well as Power Works and Housing. The appointments were contained in a statement by the Director of Information, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Lawrence Ojabo. According to the statement, the new recs are Emmanuel Hart, Mohammed Ibrahim, Cyril Omorigbe, Uthman Ajidaba, Shegun Agbaje, Baba Yusuf, and Yahya Bello. Ojabo said the appointments of the RECs were for initial term of 5 years, adding that the appointment would take effect from April 17th. President Muhammadu Buhari has written 2 letters to the Senate seeking confirmation of Festus Okoye as the National Commissioner representing Southeast Geopolitical Zone for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In the separate letters read to the House by Senate President Bukola Saraki, the President in the second letter sought the confirmation of 23 nominees from different states as commissioners of the National Population Commission, NPC, as well as confirmation of 2 nominees as non-legal practitioner, members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission.
Dear distinguished Senate President, request for confirmation of appointment of 1 National Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission. In accordance with the provision of Section 1541 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I write to forward to the distinguished Senate the name of Barrister Festus Okoye for confirmation as National Commissioner representing Southeast Geopolitical Zone. While hoping that this request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Muhammad Buhari. In accordance with provision of Section 1541 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I write to forward to the Senate for confirmation the following names of 23 nominees representing their respective states at the National Population Commission. Nwani Johnny Wabusi, Abia. Dr. Clifford T. Ozira, Adamawa. Mr. Chidi Christopher Ezioke, MNI, Anambra. Barrister Isa Audu Baratai, Borno. Navy Captain Charles Inyam Ogwa, retired, Cross River. While hoping that this request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Muhammad Buhari.
An appeal has been made to the Lagos State government to double its effort in maintaining effective cleanliness in the state. A cross-section of Lagos State residents who made the appeal in an interview with Superscreen television tasked Governor Akinwumi Ambode to live up to the record of the previous administration of former Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. A trip around Lagos metropolis shows how filthy the state has become since the withdrawal of the private sector participants, PSP, on the waste wars orchestrated by a disagreement over the Cleaner Lagos initiative, a development that led to gap in service delivery. Today, there are heaps of waste on roads, streets, junctions, marketplaces, and other available spaces in different neighborhoods in Lagos State. Reacting on this development, these residents attributed the cause to poor discharge of the Lagos State management and charged the Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on immediate solution that will rid the state of dirt.
Lagos State is not a good place to talk of when it comes to cleanliness. And judging by what it used to be, especially during the time of the past administration, Lagos seems to be cleaner than what it is now. And we thought this government would have improved on what was there before. But the reverse is the case.
In terms of cleanliness in Lagos, I think Governor Ambode needs to do a very tough job. They said we're using Cleaner Lagos, which I thought Cleaner Lagos, they don't have enough equipment to serve the Lagosian very well.
Look at this place. They started from throwing just a nylon, but due to the fact that when people see that they are throwing just a nylon there, they started bringing their own dustbin there and throw it there, quite disturbing everywhere. What can you, to say the facts, in terms of cleanliness, is not well managed.
We don't see them working. Like me, I used to use money to throw my dustbin away because they said that we should be doing Thursday environmental, and we always doing it. After the training, we don't see them come and back to check. We always use money to throw it away. And when we saw the PSP motor passing, they don't allow us to throw the dustbin away.
Cleaning in Lagos State is not okay at all, but we are begging our budget to help us about the cleanliness of Lagos State.
You will recall that in February 2017, Governor Akinwumi Ambode signed into law a policy on the Environmental Management, Protection and Sustainable Development Bill 2017, which suspended the state's agreement with PSP, where he transferred the management of the state's waste to Visionscape Group, a foreign environmental sanitation management company. Today, all pointers shows Visionscape is not living up to their promise of efficient delivery. With the latest development where both parties had their war by virtue of court order for negotiating their agreement to go together and work together. These residents insist that what is paramount is for the state to maintain the cleanliness seen during the last administration of Babatunde Fashola.
When they were handling the debts of Lagos, everywhere was okay. If you look around now, you see debts right in front of the market, even in between the market. So to me, what I feel is that if they bring back Loma and PSP, everything would go back the way it used to be. Where we have a lorry there, that Loma used to park there, and everything is good.
They would have included the cart pushers, probably to organize them, register them, and have a system that will manage that particular sector. Because there are some areas in Lagos that are not accessible to Loma vehicles.
If they bring back Loma and the PSP, everywhere will be okay. Now, the last time they said they don't want the cart pushers in Lagos. Now, cart pushers are the people that are helping Lagosians to clean their environment.
We paid for the Loma every month, and they came, they took the dustbin, they took the dirty away. So what I can say is that the house that does not pay or does not have this bin bucket, I believe that they should be, that the people responsible for putting the dustbin there. That's my own belief, and that's what they should act on. Who are the people? Who are the house that they are not paying those Loma? And that's the only solution they can do they can find to this dustbin issue.
Worthy of note is that the resolution of both parties to work together will see PSP referred to as the waste collection operators and will be paid for their services, while Vision Scope Sanitation Solution will work on developing infrastructure that will facilitate effective integrated waste management system. The members of the House of Representatives and the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Mahaji, has disagreed over the procurement of 1.6 billion naira relief materials for states hit by flooding in 2017. Each of the 16 affected states was to receive materials worth 100 billion naira from the emergency agency to assist the victims. Lawmakers observed that while NEMA received funding for the intervention in July 2017, many of the states started receiving deliveries in March this year, 9 months after the floods wreaked havoc. Mahaja had appeared before the House Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness, chaired by Ali Isa. The committee is investigating alleged violations of public trust by NEMA and non-compliance to provision of Public Procurement Act. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has appealed to Governor Rotimi Akeredolu to reverse his recent decision in the tuition fees in the state-owned institution in the state. NANS National Public Relations Officer, Mr. Bestman Okorafo, said in a statement on Thursday in Enugu State that the reversal became necessary in the interest of the teeming indigent students. He said the recent increase in the tuition fees is alarming and beyond normal situation, adding that the development would be inimical to educational development of the state. Okorafo said the students had been paying between 25,000 and 30,000 naira, but noted that the fees had been increased to 120 and 180,000 naira respectively in state-owned institutions. He urged the governor to address the situation in a way that will favor both parties. The management of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, has queried the professor who was allegedly accused of demanding sex to upgrade a female student's poor results. The university also appealed to the student to come forward to make a formal complaint against the lecturer. The public relations officer of the school, Abiodun Olariwaju, disclosed this to journalists in Osogbo, the state capital. He said the university had started investigation into the allegations against the Don, adding that anybody found guilty would be appropriately sanctioned. Olariwaju also said the management will get to the root of the matter in order to restore the confidence of the members of the public that the institution is safer for all students. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Eyitokwe Okumbodede, also assured the people that the university will sanction the professor if found culpable. Nigeria is partnering Ghana to curb activities of criminal and cocaine trafficking. Program Coordinator of the United Nations on Drugs and Crime, Marco Texera, made this known during a meeting between delegates of the two countries in Abuja.
This second meeting is being held after the initial meeting that was held in Ghana in the end of February, where both countries and both delegations agreed on intensifying the cooperation in concrete case bases that touch common points of both countries, or criminal networks operating in both countries. In terms of context, this is part of the efforts that both Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Narcotic Control Board from Ghana, and Ghana Police Services, the Criminal Investigation Department, are doing to curb the threats associated with drug trafficking that affects both countries. It was decided by both delegations that the responses could not be a pure national-led responses, but should be based in the common efforts between the two countries and the three organizations or institutions present in here.
On his part, the NDLEA Director of Operations, Olungbenga, said the alliance of both countries is a move to address a common threat, just as all the stakeholders vowed to make the collaboration work.
We have a lot to share with our colleagues from Ghana, and we are determined to narrow the space for the criminal. Because if we cooperate, there will be the criminals that want to avoid Nigeria to go to Ghana will be checked. Criminals that want to escape from Ghana and come to Nigeria will be checked, because we will be exchanging intelligence and we will also be having joint efforts to thwart their activities.
We want to make our sub-region a safer place. And, you know, the criminals work with cooperation and networking. And to overcome them, you must also work in the same manner and procedure. Drugs actually are the main fuel to a lot of criminal activities in the world over. Talk of terrorism, arms deal, and all the crimes have elements of drugs in it because of the fast means of making money in the drug trade. So what we're going to do, and what we started doing in our main meeting here, is to make strong the collaboration between Ghana and Nigeria with the help of UNODC to make sure we fight these criminals, preventing them from gaining from their drug trade, and to make our world a safer place.
The Edo State Commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, said it apprehended 45 suspects in connection with illicit drug trafficking in the first quarter of 2018. State Commander of the agency, Buba Wakawa, who disclosed this in an interview with journalists, said the NDLEA seized 13,452 kilograms of substances suspected to be cannabis and cocaine within the period. He also said the agency destroyed suspected psychotropic substances weighing about 24.2 kilograms, maintaining that it discovered 12 suspected cannabis farms measuring 7.4 hectares. According to him, 2 of the cannabis farms were discovered at Okumo Oil Extension 2 in Okumo Wode local government area, while the others were discovered at Emun Forest in Ohio 1 local government area. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some news from the business world. Stay with us. Welcome back. And on the business scene, there was confusion among stockbrokers following conflicting signals from capital market authorities on the status of trading in the shares of Oando PLC. Report says the Securities and Exchange Commission had issued a directive that the technical suspension on the shares of Oando be lifted 3 days ago, to the effect that the regular price movements resume on the shares of yesterday. However, the stockbrokers were stopped by the Nigerian Stock Exchange from effecting the directive midway into trading, indicating that the exchange had reversed its earlier position on lifting of a suspension. A letter indicating the NSE's earlier position showed that the NSE had an earlier position notified Ayotola Jagun, the company secretary, of the resumption on normal trading activities on Oando shares. Market sources, however, confirmed that the shares of Oando PLC remain suspended, though no further reason was given for the continuous placing of the company's shares on technical suspension. Still talking business, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the extension of the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme valid to June 30th. The approval for the extension of the deadline is contained in a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, in Abuja. According to the statement, the short extension after the original March 31st date is based on the appeals of professional bodies and individual taxpayers. The statement, however, maintained that no further extension of time will be approved after June 30th. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has recovered 28 billion naira from tax defaulters for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. Executive Chairman of the FIRS, Babatunde Fowler, disclosed this when he led a delegation to the Acting Chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Mago. A statement by the EFCC Head of Media and Publicity, Wilson Owujaren, said Fowler lauded the anti-graft agency for its role, particularly in the recovery of 28 billion naira from various tax defaulters in the country. The boss emphasized the need to strengthen the existing collaboration and synergy between the two agencies. And our report says a non-governmental organization, Sunny Diligent Services, in collaboration with Kogi government, have trained 500 farmers on e-commerce. Its managing director, Joy Amota, who disclosed this in Lokoja, said the training cuts across areas such as agriculture, fashion, recycling, and real estate. She also said 10,000 farmers are targeted through value chain with information and communication technology, including benefits such as workshops, business plan, loan facilities, off-takers opportunities, partnerships, and business connection. Joy maintained that the organization had mapped out 1,000 hectares of land for this wet season, but the main challenge is land clearing, saying the commissioner has promised to facilitate it. You're watching Superscreen News at 10. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign news and some fourth stories. Stay with us.